Hey there, Commanders fans. Listen up, because today we've got two pieces of news that are going to tug at your heartstrings. You, like me, must be wondering what's going on behind the scenes of our team. Well, in the first news item, we're going to talk about a bold move that's causing quite a stir, the arrival of Noah Brown and the unexpected departure of Jahan Dotson. I'm going to lay out the whole truth about this matter in this video. Why did our team decide to trade a young first-round talent to the Philadelphia Eagles? And how does Noah Brown fit into this new tactical scheme? Stick with me until the end, because this analysis is going to open your eyes. Now, imagine this. You're there, following the season, watching Dotson grow and stand out as one of the team's promising players. Suddenly, boom! This bombshell trade happens, and we end up losing one of our best receivers to one of our biggest rivals. Feels like a nightmare, right? But hold on, let's try to understand what's behind this decision because, believe me, there's a plan behind all of this, and look, from what it seems, Noah Brown didn't come just to be another player. He came to add value in a way that we might not have realized yet. And that's where competitive stamina comes in, folks. Yes, you heard it right. This is the key word that's giving meaning to all this movement in the Commanders roster. When we think of competitive stamina, what comes to mind is the idea of a player who doesn't give up easily, who fights in every play as if it were the last. And that's exactly what Noah Brown brings to the field. Contrary to what many think, this trade wasn't a simple whim of our front office. On the contrary, it was a strategic choice based on what this new group of decision-makers believes is fundamental for long-term success. Now, let's think about this. If Noah Brown is seen as a direct replacement for Dotson, even if the team hasn't officially declared it yet, it's easy to see some glaring differences between the two. What many critics point out is that in other administrations, Washington insisted on shaping players out of position, trying to fit them where they didn't feel comfortable. But now it seems the tables have turned, and this new coaching staff seems to be looking for very specific characteristics. Players who not only love football, but also love the process, the daily grind, that sweat that rolls in practice before the spotlight shines on game day. As the Commanders' assistant general manager, Lance Newmark, made clear, the search is for athletes who love football, love being in the team environment, and love the process of working hard together. It's about building a team that not only plays together, but really enjoys being together. And friends, that's where Noah Brown comes in full force. His ability to stay strong in the face of adversity and his love for the game are exactly the kind of competitive spirit the Commanders are looking for. He's not just a numbers player, he's a guy who brings grit and heart to the field. If you watch Noah Brown's highlights, especially his games in 2023 with the Texans, what do you see? A guy who's always in the right place, who blocks when needed, who seeks space, who offers himself as a viable option for the quarterback even under pressure. He's the type of player who never gives up on a play and has a special talent for making tough catches in crucial moments. And that's why, when we talk about Noah Brown's competitive stamina, we're talking about someone who can really make a difference. And let me make a comment here as a true fan. Who doesn't love seeing a player who gives everything on the field? Who bleeds for the team, who fights for every yard, who, even knowing he might take a hit, goes out there and gets the ball? It's this kind of attitude that creates heroes and legends within a team. And honestly, I can't wait to see how Noah Brown will fit into this new offensive system with Jayden Daniels at the helm. Speaking of Jayden Daniels, what a promising partnership. The rookie quarterback, full of talent and thirst for victory, finds in Noah Brown a reliable option, a true warrior on the field. The chemistry between these two could be the key to finally getting the Commanders' offense rolling. They have the potential to form an explosive duo, capable of challenging any NFL defense. What do you think, fans? Are we about to witness the birth of a new era for the Washington Commanders? And for those who still have doubts, why might this trade be exactly what Washington needed? First, it's important to understand that Noah Brown has experience and versatility, something that's highly valued in the NFL. It's not just about being a good receiver, it's about being complete, knowing how to block, knowing when to position yourself, and, most importantly, knowing how to contribute in different game situations. He's already proven this with both the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. And now, he's ready to do the same with the Washington Commanders. What many are wondering is, to what extent will this roster change impact the Commanders' performance in the short term? Trading a young and promising talent like Jahan Dotson is not a decision taken lightly. However, by bringing in Noah Brown, the Washington Commanders management may be signaling a desire to strengthen the team with players who bring a more physical and versatile skill set, something that Dotson, despite being talented, might not have offered to the same degree. Now, let's move on to some explosive news. We're going to talk about our cornerback Emmanuel Forbes and his surprising evolution in this 2024 season. Yes, folks, there's hot news in the air, and that's exactly why you won't want to miss any details. And look, before anything else, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates about our commanders. Let's get to it, because what I'm about to tell you today will get people talking. So, what everyone wanted to know was whether Emmanuel Forbes, our first-round pick in 2023, would finally show up after a complicated rookie season. Let's be honest, folks, his first season was a nightmare, wasn't it? He was benched, criticized, doubted. But the big question is, did he manage to turn things around? Well, according to our new GM, Adam Peters, it seems he did. And what he said will excite even the most pessimistic fans. Stick with me until the end and I'll tell you all about this evolution. Adam Peters came to lead the Commanders with a clear mission, to reshape the team and bring back that grit we've been missing so much. Along with head coach Dan Quinn, they didn't make big moves at the cornerback position in this last draft, except for picking Mike Sainristil in the second round. But look, it was a strategic move, huh? Sainristil came in to occupy the slot corner position, but the bigger bet was on who was already on the roster. Peters and Quinn trusted the new coaching staff to get the most out of our players. And guys, it looks like the plan is working. Now you might ask, but what about Forbes? How does he fit into all this? Well, what we know is that the Commanders brought in veterans like Michael Davis and Noah Igbinoghene to bolster the defense, but none of them came close to threatening Forbes's or Benjamin St-Just's positions. This only shows that the coaching staff believes in their potential, and especially in Forbes's growth potential. Now, I know some of you were skeptical after that joint practice with the New York Jets. Who wasn't, right? Seeing Forbes struggling against Garrett Wilson gave us all a bit of a scare. But let's be fair, folks. Any cornerback would have difficulties facing a receiver of Wilson's caliber. But this is where Dan Quinn and defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr.'s work comes in. They came with a plan for Forbes, add weight in the offseason, and improve technique. And guys, from what we're hearing, Forbes took on the challenge head-on. Peters himself recently commented that Forbes has improved significantly. And of course, that's great news. It proves that all the hard work is starting to pay off. And you know what? This is just the beginning. Peters was clear when he said he feels more confidence internally regarding the cornerback position than the external perception. And that's what we like to hear. He mentioned that not only Forbes, but all the guys in the position have shown impressive improvement. And you know why? Because they've been well coached, folks. Simmons, Witt, Tommy Donatel, William Gay, and Jason Simmons are doing an incredible job, and it's visible in every practice. This coaching staff came to change the game, and so far they're delivering with flying colors. What gets me more excited, and I believe you too, is seeing that our defense is becoming a true fortress. Peters even mentioned that Forbes, specifically, has benefited from this new work environment. What he lacks in weight, he makes up for in determination and work ethic. And that's exactly what we want to see on the field. A player who gives his all, learns from mistakes, and is willing to evolve. That's what makes the difference. Now, get this. Peters made it clear that despite Forbes' evolution, he wasn't taking shots at the old coaching staff. But between us, right? It's pretty clear that the problem wasn't Forbes' talent, but rather how he was being coached. Now, with Quinn and Witt in charge, the hope is that he'll be able to show his full potential. After all, these two have an impressive track record in developing defensive backs. So let's trust the process. And guys, if there's one thing we've learned from watching Commanders games in recent years, it's that we can never underestimate the power of a good coaching staff. We've seen great players being underutilized, and even worse, unfairly criticized for a performance that didn't depend solely on them. And with Forbes, it wasn't any different. He came in with high expectations, a first-round pick, but things went south quickly. But who hasn't gone through a tough time, right? The big question is how you get up after that. And Forbes, from all indications, is ready to make a comeback. Folks, just thinking that we have a coaching staff like the one we have now, who really knows how to develop talent, is already a relief, isn't it? These guys know what they're doing. And with Quinn at the helm, expectations only increase. These people have brought new life to our team. And more than that, they've brought confidence back. And it's this confidence that could be the key for Forbes to transform into the cornerback we always knew he could be. Now, of course, Forbes' evolution isn't the only success story we're following. The development of our players in general has been incredible. We've seen guys who were considered mediocre standing out in ways we couldn't even imagine. This just proves that when you have a good system, a good plan, and a committed coaching staff, the sky's the limit. And this goes for Forbes and any other player who's willing to put in the work. But fans, I want to hear from you. How are you feeling about this new phase of the Commanders? Are you confident we can have a better campaign this year? Do you think Forbes will be one of the defensive standouts? Or do we still have a lot to improve? Leave your comment and let's debate, because this is the place for real fans who feel the team in their hearts and want to see the Commanders shining again.